Caitlin Clark, one of our girls, is the finest point guard under 25. Above Paige Bueckers at the top of the list. Caitlin is ranked first, followed by Paige. I received the first two are correct. However, it's said that there were great expectations for Paige Bueckers' professional debut, with GM telling ESPN that she will be inducted into the Hall of Fame in her first season. Last week, she became the first player to drop more than 40 points in a game on 80%, which was her greatest accomplishment. Effectiveness. Just reading numbers makes people stupid. And Caitlin at the top. Yes? No. Just 2 minutes ago, we witnessed the writing of history. Caitlin Clark is at the top of ESPN.1 place as Paige Bueckers watches her competitors shine with tears in her eyes. Everything in women's basketball will change at this point. ESPN just revealed that Paige Bueckers is finally receiving a little reality check from the media once more. As if it were, Caitlin Clark, one of our girls, is the finest point guard under 25. Number 1 on the list, ahead of Caitlin Clark by Paige Bueckers. They claim that Caitlin Clark was officially proclaimed the best by ESPN. She is superior to everyone else because she is a point guard under 25. Her domination is indisputable, even if she has played few games because of injuries. Once more, Paige Bueckers is left trailing behind after the recognition. Our team's top point guard under 25 is Caitlin Clark, a girl. Despite Caitlin Clark's injury, ESPN is finally showing her some love. They announced that she was the top rookie under 25. Caitlin Clark had the top ranking. ESPN's ranking is higher than Paige Bueckers. Clark's shooting, passing, and floor impact remain unrivaled despite her injuries. This sets her apart from Paige, who, in spite of high expectations, is still ranked number 1 on the list, ahead of Caitlin Clark by Paige Bueckers. According to reports, she has only played in 13 games this season, averaging 16 because of injuries. 5'8", 5 boards, and 8 assists. However, Clark has a huge impact when he is well. She accelerates the pace, breaks down defenses with her passing, and extends the shooting range. The 23-year-old offers an unparalleled element each time she takes the floor. And the squad as a whole benefits from her confidence. Caitlin Clark topped the ESPN list, while Paige Bueckers came in second. Paige is left behind, while Caitlin continues to make history. Analogy. Paige has the potential, according to many, but Caitlin's accomplishments have already changed the rankings. First of all, Paige is number 2. I was correct on the first two. The number Aaliyah. The first one is Caitlin Clark. I guess that's what I expected them to say. Personally, I plan to accompany Paige, particularly in terms of potential. If she, when all is said and done, Paige will rank among the best gamers ever, even though ESPN named Paige Bueckers a future Hall of Famer. She was still only slightly lower than Caitlin Clark. Critics contend that her effectiveness is insufficient to outperform Caitlin. As Clark gains more attention, Paige finds it difficult to establish her place at the top. No, Paige will undoubtedly be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Of course Paige will. Bueckers' efficiency is largely retained. What do you like and why are you yelling? For example, what does efficiency mean to us? Even if she shoots 46% from the field, I won't care. She shoots middies only. I apologize. A layup and a midi are as valuable if she made 40. Furthermore, she would be an utterly ineffective player if she made 46% of her layup shots. Just reading numbers makes people stupid. And Caitlin number 1, huh? No, Caitlin Clark was firm at the top of the ESPN list when it peaked. Even though Paige Bueckers is talented, couldn't claim the top position. The message was plain to fans, while Paige is left feeling sad and fighting. The strain, Caitlin keeps making history. The top person on the list is Caitlin Clark. I'm not shocked. ESPN has a goal to promote. Do you understand what I'm saying? The median darling is her. The golden girl is her. The machine is behind. I am here to express my disagreement with Caitlin Clark's first, with the tall ceiling. I'm thinking about someone who made several different changes to the game for the purpose of being a great player. I'm referring to your desire to be a GOAT. You aspire to be an exceptional player. Because we use the word great so indiscriminately. For example, you're excellent if you score 20 points and dish out 10 assists. Paige Bueckers was expected Tosca high, with the general manager even forecasting that she would be inducted into the Hall of Fame in her first season. Even while she has had moments of genius, Caitlin Clark's domination as a rookie made such comparisons even more severe. Pressure has been placed on Paige to live up to her hype, but also said that GM told ESPN that Paige would be a Hall of Famer in her first season. So expectations were high for her backers entering the professional ranks. Yes, that's what his name is, Kurt, and she has mostly lived up to it. And she's on track to as the only rookie, or more accurately, the only player to average 19 points and 5 of 6 in their debut season. Join Kayla Clark. UConn's field goal percentage of 46% indicates that Bueckers' efficiency has decreased. Paige Bueckers came in second on being the only rookie to average more than 19 points and 5 assists, along with Caitlin Clark. According to ESPN's list, she stays in the debate because of her effectiveness and talent. However, Paige remains in the background because to Caitlin's capacity to overwhelm defenses and generate excitement. Now, let's talk about Paige. On the list, she is ranked number 2. Stated that there were great hopes for Bueckers' professional debut, with one general manager telling ESPN that she would be inducted into the Hall of Fame in her first season. She has mostly lived, fulfills the hype, and is on track to become one of the few players, along with Clark, to average 19 points and 5 assists during their first campaign, with the best field goal shooting percentage of any guard at 46% and an average of at least 16 points per game. Bueckers' effectiveness has largely transferred from UConn. The league. Even in 2025, she still has a place in modern basketball, thanks to her mid-range skills. Last week, she became the first player to drop 40 or more points in a game with 80% efficiency, which was her greatest accomplishment. Caitlin Clark was ranked first in ESPN's poll, which sparked controversy. Paige Bueckers was ranked second. Paige has the resources to be the best, according to some pundits. However, Clark's performances that break records leave no question why she's in the lead. The rivalry between the two continues to heat up. Here we are. The first is Caitlin Clark. Before we head to the bar, let's only glance at the list for the bar. Check to see whether it was correct. First of all, Caitlin, Paige is number 2. I was correct on the first 2. Aaliyah's number. Here is the article from which this piece was taken. It said that the top young players in the WNBA are ranked 25. Under 25, Paige Bueckers will probably be inducted into the Hall of Fame, according to analysts. However, despite her skill and efficiency, Caitlin Clark is still ranked first. Fans keep contrasting their looks, and Paige frequently receives criticism while Caitlin gains attention. This difference exacerbates Paige's annoyance. The top person on the list is Caitlin Clark. I'm not shocked ESPN has a Jenner. Do you understand what I'm saying? The median darling is her. The golden girl is her. Behind her is the machine. I am here to express my disagreement with Caitlin Clark having the highest ceiling. My first thought when I consider someone with the highest ceiling is about someone who has the ability to alter the game in a variety of ways. First of all, since you want to be a GOAT in order to be a great player, you aspire to be an exceptional player, because I use the word great quite loosely. For example, you're excellent if you score 20 points and dish out 10 assists. Isn't it simple to put pressure on you all? You're not great because of it. On the basketball court, you must be able to demonstrate excellence in a variety of areas. Thus, in my opinion, Caitlin Clark still received a great deal. Although Angel Ree was ranked lower than both Paige and Caitlin, Discussions revealed why ESPN gave Paige a lower ranking than Caitlin Clark. Many people think Caitlin stands out due to her leadership and work ethic. It serves as yet more a reminder to Paige that she is not viewed as the best option. Angel or Paige would be my choice. I'm attempting to consider. Malanga, Aaliyah, Caitlin, and Paige are probably in front of her. I would give her a 4. Well, I still believe it's difficult to ask. I like not to place a lot of bets on work rate. I would pick Angel Reese over Paige Bueckers because if I had to choose, I would rather wager on work rate than talent. I'm not saying Evan though, Paige doesn't put forth a lot of effort. I would sooner wager on a dog than on skill. When Paige Bueckers became the first player to score 40 points on 80% shooting in a single game, it was a historic occasion. However, despite this accomplishment, ESPN still ranked Caitlin Clark was above her. For Paige, Caitlin's top ranking eclipses every accomplishment. She has demonstrated that the mid-range game still has a place in contemporary basketball, shooting the best of any guard and averaging at least 16 points per game. 2025 last week was her greatest accomplishment. She became the first player to shoot 80% of the time and score 40 points in a game. Therefore, I'm assuming that this was written by a variety of authors. Article, I suppose? However, Caitlin Clark continues to outperform Paige Bueckers in terms of true shooting percentage. According to analysts, even when Paige is at her best, Caitlin is without a doubt the best because of her ability to dominate and stretch the floor. Paige is now having to prove herself because of this disparity. It seems to me to be the true indicator of efficiency. Compared to Paige Bueckers, Caitlin Clark is more efficient. She had greater true shooting percentages. Much like in her first year, I'd have to wait and see how it develops in year 2. But I'm on the verge of abandoning year 2 for Caitlin, because the health has simply not been there and there have been injury after injury. In addition, I believe we ought to give her a little more leeway given her rookie campaign. Advocates contend that Paige has the capacity to be among the finest ever, but Caitlin Clark is now in the lead. According to ESPN's ranking, Clark is clearly at the top, while Paige is still figuring everything out. Their rivalry is defined by that difference. The league's center for this next stream of participants. She's obviously younger than she therefore likely has another 7 or 8 years to go, especially since she will be able to dominate as the top center once the Bee Gees and Asia's leave. She will be running the center position right there. I can see it then. However, in terms of potential, I believe she is very almost reaching her full potential. Dominique is a fascinating person. I reiterated that I didn't know Aaliyah would be on this list and that I assumed she would be at number 3. To be honest, I still wouldn't have had Leia at 3. Paige's effectiveness was questioned by those who claimed that her shot choice fell short of Clark's impact. Despite Paige's exceptional talent, Caitlin Clark's position as the top performer was confirmed by the ESPN ranking. Paige is in a difficult and emotional place as a result of the comparisons. The top person on the list is Caitlin Clark. I'm not shocked. There is a genital push on ESPN. Do you understand what I'm saying? The median darling is her. The golden girl is her. Behind her is the machine. I am here to inform you that I do not agree with Caitlin. Clark has the highest ceiling and is ranked first. I'll keep things basic, okay? When I imagine someone with the highest ceiling, I picture someone who can alter the course of events in a variety of MCADs. First of all, since you want to be a GOAT in order to be a great player, you aspire to be an exceptional player. Because we use the word great so indiscriminately. For example, you're excellent if you score 20 points and dish out 10 assists? Isn't it simple to put pressure on you all? You're not great because of it. On the basketball court, you must be able to demonstrate excellence in a variety of areas. Thus, in my opinion, Caitlin Clark still received a great deal, while acknowledging that Paige Bueckers is bound for success. Analysts also affirmed Caitlin Clark's position as the #1 pick. The message was straightforward for fans. Clark keeps creating history, as Paige is compelled to pursue her heritage from a distance. No, Paige will undoubtedly be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Paige will undoubtedly carry on most of Becca's efficiency. How do you like yourself? What am I babbling about? For example, what does efficiency mean to us? Even if she shoots 46% from the field, I won't care. She shoots middies only. Apologize. If she layup and a midi are equally valuable in shot 40. Furthermore, she would be an utterly ineffective player if she made 46% of her layup shots. The fact that she makes stupid shots doesn't mean that she does it more frequently than the majority does not imply that she is effective. Caitlin is #1, and others are stupid for simply reading numbers. Yes, despite her injuries, Caitlin Clark was ranked as the top player under 25 in the ESPN report. Her capacity she was the obvious pick because she could lead with confidence and stretch defenses. This meant that Paige would have to settle for second place, which would lead to additional comparisons. As far as I'm concerned, the best WNBA player is under 25 years old. Let's go over to X. Man, look at all of stuff, dude. As everyone is aware, Paige Bueckers has been receiving a lot of love from her fans and the media. Man. Now, according to this recent ESPN report, Caitlin Clark is ranked first. In the following rankings link. Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's point guard, was listed as injured. Despite playing in only 13 games this season, she has averaged 16 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. However, Caitlin has a huge impact when healthy. She pushes the pace, stretches the floor with her shooting range, and breaks down defenses with her passing. Caitlin Clark's prime was predicted by analysts to include numerous MVPs, titles, and even rising to prominence in the history of women's basketball. She surpassed Paige Bueckers in the rankings as a result of that ambitious prediction, and Paige had to work hard to stay up. Throughout a season, she will average more than 10 assists a game, and during a season, she will average 25 points each game. She will likely finish her career as the biggest star to ever play women's basketball, win numerous MVP awards, multiple titles, and essentially redefine women's basketball from a star viewpoint. Basketball. This is the top choice for me, and it's not even close. Starting with #2, I believe there is a discussion about bringing in the peaks. Well, let's have a look at Dominique Malunga, 19 years old. Fans questioned the choice right away after Caitlin Clark was ranked higher than Paige Bueckers on ESPN's list. Although Caitlin's domination at the moment made her the clear #1, Paige's supporters think she still has the potential to become great. Caitlin Clark is #1, as I expected them to say, particularly in terms of potential. I particularly support Paige. Paige will be among the best players to ever play the game if she can pull it all together. She is a skilled individual. She literally has the means to accomplish anything. She got a bag on offense, I guess. When it comes to defense, she can go down and be a presence. For example, I think Paige has a lot of potential. Paige is my pick if we're judging this by potential. Well, I would definitely switch those two. Paige Bueckers was ranked slightly behind Caitlin Clark when the ESPN rankings peaked. Paige has demonstrated her ability to score goals and be efficient, but Caitlin's overall influence on the game put her in first place. No, Paige will undoubtedly be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Of course Paige will. Most of Becca's efficiency is retained. What are you like, and why are you yelling? For example, what efficiency are we discussing? Even if she shoots 46% from the field, I won't care. She shoots middies only. I apologize. A layup and a double would be worthwhile if she had shot 40. The same quantity. Furthermore, she would be an utterly ineffective player if she made 46% of her layup shots, although Dominique Malunga and Aaliyah Boston were also brought up. Paige and Caitlin were usually at the center of the argument, experts clarified that Paige was in second place. It was not Paige who made history, but Caitlin Clark. At 4 o'clock, we have Dom Malonga. No way. No weight on Malonga is any less than 2, in my opinion. No way. You can't. This is what I mean. If you want me to take your list seriously, you can't put Dominique Malonga below 2. Malonga, Dominique. Feel free to rank Caitlin Clark higher. Then Dominique Malonga. Proceed. She's averaging 13 and 7 on 60% shooting. Though, just like she was in August, she is among the WNBA's 5 youngest players ever. ESPN announced that Caitlin Clark is the top WNBA player under 25 despite her injury. Caitlin Clark will become the biggest star in women's basketball and win numerous MVP awards and titles. The first is Caitlin Clark. Second, Paige. The ESPN list is that the first player to score 40 points in a game while shooting 80% was Paige Bueckers. Despite Caitlin Clark's injury, ESPN is now showing her some support. Is it public knowledge that she is the top rookie under 25? Throughout a season, she will average more than 10 assists a game, and during a season, she will average 25 points each game. She will win several LMP's numerous titles and essentially redefine women's basketball from a star standpoint. Is likely to complete her career as the biggest star in women's basketball history. Here we are. Caitlin comes in first. Clark. Let's take a quick glance at the list before we proceed bar for bar. Check to see whether it was correct. First of all, Caitlin, Paige's number 2. I have those the first 2 are correct. Leah's number. Paige Bueckers is a 3-level scorer defender, high basketball player who reads the game and makes the appropriate play. In fact, I'm going to keep Paige Bueckers' number private. 2. However, I'm removing K from this list. For a moment, I will remove myself from the list. No, Paige will undoubtedly be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Paige is going. To be Becca's efficiency is largely retained. What are you talking about? And what do you like? For example, what does efficiency mean to us? Even if she shoots 46% from the field, I won't care. She shoots middies only. Caitlin is the best. Indeed, that's evident. Caitlin continues to create. History. Paige continues to pursue what comes next in this competition. Don't pass it up. Like, subscribe, and spread the word for further updates.